hot, she's sexy, she's funny, and wow. Don't stop, get busy, we love it, your style. It's just another chapter in life. Bought a new house after the night. No butlers and no maids. You gotta do your own thing your way. Go Kendra, go Kendra, go Kendra, go Kendra. You on your own now.
Viewer discretion is advised.
It's amazing to meet you. It is simply extraordinary. Maybe this will all make sense if I explain who I am.
My name is Dr. Ellie Staple, and I'm a psychiatrist.
My work concerns a particular type of delusion of grandeur. It's a growing field. I specialize in those individuals who believe they are superheroes.
Good for you.
The three of you've convinced yourselves you have extraordinary gifts like something out of a comic book. David Dunn, the only person to survive that train wreck all those years ago. What do?
I'm in security.
You think you have superpowers.
It's a feeling. Vision. I have to touch them.
You believe you are a protector.
My name is Patricia.
I have no question there are 24 identities
I'm Mary Reynolds. Por favor, señora. We almost got you, bro.
that live in that body with you.
The beast is coming any minute now for you guys.
But what I am questioning is your belief that you are something more than human.
And yet, it is true. My bones break easily. I've had 94 breaks in my life.
But you have an extraordinary IQ.
This is not a cartoon. This is the real world.
No way.
And yet, some of us still don't die with bullets. Some of us can still bend steel. I've been waiting for the world to see that we exist. May I meet the beast? I hope for your sake that he likes you. That sounds like the bad guys teaming up. A lot of people are going to die. Don't do this. Are you ready?
What do we call you, sir?
First name, Mr. Last name, Glass.
And if you stay the night, yeah, if I do alright, you might be coming back for more. And if you're coming back, we must be on the right track, and I'm stepping up for sure. If it's alright with you, I'll book a table for two at this fancy restaurant. And if you still want me, I'll make sure to be the best you ever had. If I was young.
Peace and blessings, everybody. It's Cipher Supreme Rod in the building. I am with Cipher Rod my eye.
Hey, everybody.
And this particular episode, we're going to do our movie review or movie reaction, post-reaction to the movie Glass.
Yes.
Starring Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, and what's the guy's name who played Split?
I think his name is James. That's the first part of the name I know is just James.
Okay. I don't know his name, but look, he did a good job in Split. He did a great job in this movie today. We're going to break down the movie
Yes,
Glass.
he did.
Now, the movie Glass is now the combination, or actually now we know it's a sequel to the movies Unbreakable and Split. You know, in Unbreakable, you saw the characters of Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass.
And David Dunn's character as the Unbreakable Man, who had possessed superhuman strength and his ability to not be sick or get hurt. This movie came out 19 years ago.
2000, guys, if you don't know your math.
So they had the whole original cast come in from Unbreakable. You know, the boy.
Round of applause.
The son actually came in, and Bruce Willis. He looked a hell older. And the mom who played Mr. Glass's mom, Elijah Prince.
Yes.
Prince's mom on there, aka Mr. Glass, she was even in there again. The girl who survived on that movie Split, she came in on this movie as well.
The original cast is always good because I find that when they but they make a trilogy or more, it's never the same cast and the storyline doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, some sequels do tell a whole different story. They just carry the same name.
Right.
Then you got some sequels that do have the cast members that carry over, you know.
Right.
Movies, you know, so it's mostly horror movies. You get to see some of the same people from years and years ago.
Right.
Stuff like that. But yeah, this is a good thing to see it like this. They didn't make it out of some totally different story. They made sure they ended this story to go into the next story, which I think it will be yet another sequel from this movie. Hopefully it won't take forever.
10 years.
You know, so I like the way they put it together. So like I said, if y'all are not familiar with the cast from movie Glass, I suggest everybody to go see this movie. But if you are familiar with it, you definitely want to go see it.
Yes.
It stems from that movie Unbreakable.
Unbreakable is part one.
Go watch Unbreakable.
Right.
Then watch the movie Split.
Split, part two.
You're going to think like, okay, Split and Unbreakable don't have nothing to do with each other. I was thinking that at first too until I seen Bruce Willis at the end.
It was like he was watching.
Split, yeah, he was watching the whole time on Split. You know, Split was the multiple personality guy who was like, you know, had this character called the Beast. He had multiple personalities. He had 9 other characters as well. 24
personalities.
And that had he over had 24 personalities, but you know, it was like mostly like you'll see 10 of them throughout this movie Glass.
So basically how he is connected to David Dunn and him. Well, what was his name? What the heck? Not Joseph Dunn. I wrote this man's. Did I even write his name? Kevin Wendell Crumb and David Dunn are connected because the day in the first one, they had the train accident. Mm-hmm. David survived and his father did not. So then they had to wait some years until he was grown to make part 2 or 3. Yeah.
3.
2 and 3.
2 and 3. This 2 was basically was all about the guy, Crumb.
Right.
With multiple personalities. And then all 3 of them were in there.
Now, this really much just made me sad, the ending of it, but it was like, they basically use numerology and ancient African stuff, but in a subtle way, I think.
Yeah, they have a lot of, they got to the meat and potatoes of that towards the end of the film. And also, they really want to focus on telling you the reality in comic books, how we think it's just a story. And also, we know Mr. Glass explained this in the first movie, Unbreakable, where he said that a lot of people knows that these are just stories of superheroes and embellished stories, but they are actually taken from real life events and they are put down into comic books. So people think what is fantasy is actually a reality, which has a lot of truth. That's one point I want to bring up, which is very fucking true. Now, we know about a young man who also connected the story between the Kikuyu tribe and the Black Panther comic book.
Because everybody thought it was made up, and I'm like, no, there's a civilization in Africa, the Kenyan people, who have this stuff for real, and they're like, you're dumb.
Yeah. And I'm using the Black Panther first to bring home the understanding of what we're talking about. So the movie, Mr. Glass, he was putting 2 and 2 together. He knew his life had some type of significant importance. And he knew that he was like a villain. And he knew that the good guy superhero was Bruce Willis's character because he had this unbelievable strength that he didn't know he had until later on in life. Or he wanted to come to realize he didn't have it until he discovered it and really tapped into it because of what Mr. Glass told him the powers he possessed.
Because wasn't it in the...
Now, the reason why he was letting them know that these comic books was reality. And I want to tell you folks today, I'm saying that comic books can be reality. And I wanted to use the Black Panther first.
Yes.
And like I said, I want to give the credit to Ambassador Michael. Sorry if I don't get the brother's whole name, but he was one of the first ones to talk about the Kikuyu tribe in Kenya. Mm-hmm. They talk about the Kikuyu tribe, who also practice the same practices that they practiced in Wakanda. And in the Kikuyu language, Wakanda, that means son of man in Kikuyu language.
Yes.
Now, this mountain is said where their god lived. And on this mountain is where they go through this initiation, where they have you drink this purple liquid, which puts the initiate in an induced coma.
Right.
And he comes back. It may take weeks or even days to nurse him back to perfect health. But after drinking this particular substance, they are known to have superhuman spirituality, superpowers with the mind as well. And a lot of these initiations is kept secret in this particular mountain, just like in the movie Black Panther.
Right.
And if you read the Black Panther comic book, which is a lot of people didn't know it was even a comic book since the late 60s, actually. So this is nothing new if you're a comic book head. Everything step by step in that movie relates to a lot of similarities in the Kikuyu tribe. Also, some of them relate to the Dogon tribe as well, when they get into the universal aspect of things and how they possess the superhuman intelligence. Because, you know, there's a dormant part in our brain that has not been activated, and that particular concoction they make up activates the brain. So that's one story. Then we can talk about Superman. We know the original Superman, when they first made him up, could not fly. He wasn't the floofs flying through the air and all this good stuff. It was the man by the name of John Henry, a black man who had superhuman strength that worked on the railroad. They took that Superman story from the actual man who actually lived, John Henry. That's just the name too. I can go on and on about where these superhero comic stories come from.
Like he said in the movie.
And just like Mr. Glass said in the movie. And what he was doing is connecting the same thing in their own reality, and they actually had superhuman strengths indeed themselves. So that's another good point I want to make. That's one of the when you watching the movie with your third eye, you got to pay attention to some of the hints they drop. Anything you want to add to that particular part?
Well, I find even the original Captain Marvel was black and they changed her to white.
Right.
So I'm like, why? It frustrates me, it really upsets me that they take these real life stories from us and make it whitewash and don't even give us the fucking credit. That's like, to me, stealing.
Yeah. Look at this. Oh, well, since we're on that, let's talk about another comic book. You know, since this movie is based upon comic books and real superheroes, Green Lantern.
Oh, yes.
We know the symbol of the Green Lantern is the symbol of Osiris.
Africa.
From ancient Kemet.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Green Lantern, as far as I know, never was changed, always have been a black man. But when they make this goofy fucking movie to this white dude, he was all comical.
But it's stupid.
But it did have some subliminals in there as far as the universal powers and things like that, tapping into that stuff. But it still kind of made Green Lantern kind of corny and soft, which Green Lantern was probably the man of all men in the DC comics. Nobody could fuck with Green Lantern.
They made him seem real stupid, like he didn't know stuff.
Yeah, they did.
Like, what the heck?
But, you know, they water stuff down and, you know, make it however Hollywood feel like they need to make it, but whatever. But a lot of people don't really realize that either. That's another example. I don't want to keep going on to all these examples, but let's get into the actual movie. That's just to get you started about how this stuff began from Unbreakable to now to the movie Glass. I don't want to talk too much for y'all to go see Glass because I don't want to tell the movie step by step either. We just wanted to do it in a way to where you can have some enjoyment in it and without knowing what's going to happen, blase, blase.
5 stars.
Hell yeah. Now, they all end up in a mental institution. It starts off from where Split leaves off, I believe, because, you know, when Bruce Willis pops up at the end saying that he was asking questions about the guy. So I guess he eventually started hunting down Split and the guy, Crumb or whatever. And he had some girls tied up in a little
basement, like the second one.
Or whatever. Yeah. And he finds him. They go at it for the first time, and then the police show up out of nowhere with this mysterious doctor lady saying, "We don't want you to hurt nobody else, David. We don't want you to hurt nobody else." And they end up putting them all in the mental ward. Glass is already there, Mr. Glass.
But how are you considered a hero when you never know what Beast could have did to them girls? He saved them, but you're telling them he's crazy.
No. But see, you jumping ahead. We was going to climax into that part. So she didn't consider him a hero. She didn't consider none of them really nothing but other than some superhuman people.
That's a gift.
Yeah. So she didn't consider him a hero specifically. You remember what she said? Now we're going to have to speed up now because you jumped ahead. Remember what she said at the end, when she said, "We didn't come after you guys," when she revealed who she really was.
Right.
We didn't come after you guys because you were a villain or you were a superhero. We don't take sides. All we know is that we have to take all y'all out because the world has been just fine for 10,000 years with superhumans. We don't want any gods around. So in secret, they've been moving to trick these guys and convincing them that they're not really fucking superheroes because they don't tap into their original self. They don't know why they even got these powers.
Right.
But this lady explained that it spans back 10,000 years.
Which I'm
finna make a point.
Yes, please.
I talked about on my one of my Great Black Inventors podcast about pre-dynastic Kemet.
Yes.
That goes back to 10,500 BCE through 7,000 BCE, right?
Okay.
This was the creation of the Great Sphinx, the rise of Heru.
Yes.
And it was a time of enlightenment, and it was a great time of illuminated intellect and great superpowers. The Sphinx, the pyramids, one of the seven wonders of the world was created in this particular time, right?
Yes.
And nobody knows to this day how those pyramids were built. Nobody has unlocked the secret languages. Nobody has unlocked a lot of the secrets that still remain today unless it was passed down to you orally from
generation before you.
From somebody else. Yeah, exactly. Now, it was funny she said a 10,000 year span. So what they telling you is...
Break it down, brother, please.
They're telling you right now, it's like, remember when the gods really exist, when we was at the top of our game?
Yes.
When people that look like us ran the planet?
Yes.
When we controlled everything?
Yes.
And they don't still understand how super we were and how incredible those people were in that particular pre-dynastic Kemetic period, or the secrets of the Shatut Netta, the semi-union and all that stuff, 10,000 years, spanning to over 10,000 years. That's what she was referring to.
But it wasn't meant for white people to know that shit.
Well, was it? Obviously, a lot of us black people don't know about the shit either.
But it's not. Yeah.
I don't want to get away from what I'm saying, though. Okay. I know what you're saying, but what she made something real key.
She didn't want gods on the earth. Like, she don't that's evil.
There's a bunch of people that right now don't want to see that happen again.
Right.
For somebody to tap into that particular dormant part of their body to activate those superpowers again. And if the people that automatically has that without even activating it, they go seek out these people and try to destroy them. Whether they're considered a good guy or they're considered a bad guy. It's free game.
That's evil in
itself.
Whether
you can say powers for evil, because Mr. Glass possessed the visionary, the super genius aspect. Although he broke like glass and his bones broke, his brain was so fucking superior.
Right.
Now the element that Bruce Willis possessed was superhuman strength and the ability to not be broken. The only power The only thing that broke him down was water.
Water, right.
When you drown him, he'll die. And the Beast, which was the split personality guy, Crumb.
Kevin Wendell Crumb.
Particular thing, he possessed a lot of different elements as far as he tapped into the child, his feminine, his masculine, his logical, his illogical, and his beastly aspect of his the animal aspect of his spirit. Okay. Now we know in pre-dynastic Kemet, especially in that 10,500 year span, they use animal aspects like the lion, the serpent. He possessed those beastly qualities. He ran like a lion. Right. He was growled. He was strong. He growled when he talked. He spoke with authority when he became the beast.
Because at first it scared me a bit. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he would break you. You know what I'm saying? Like a gorilla. You know, I mean, he possessed beastly qualities. Right. And he was agile. He could crawl up the ceiling and up walls and shit.
Like a fucking spider or monkey.
Yeah, he was cold. So that's what they was telling you. They putting it in this fucking movie.
Well, I told you the comic books, when we talk about African spirituality and ancient Kemet, Stan Lee's been telling us this shit for over 40 fucking years, but when I open my black mouth to say something, motherfuckers don't believe me until somebody don't look like me.
A lot of ignorant people, and that's not a knock. Ignorant just means to not know. Oh, Wakanda, that's not real. Y'all think that stuff real. Y'all acting like this was some real stuff. It is. And it was proven, and it was researched by that fantastic young man, Ambassador Michael, who's also honorary ambassador for the Kikuyu tribe to this day.
Hell yeah. Yes.
I'm thankful for that, brother. Bless up to him, man. Right. Shaba.
I say.
You know, that dude, I'm glad he came through with that. So, you know, a lot of people started paying attention to him when he started saying that. And you know, more people want to tap in and study other tribes from that. There's so many tribes you can look at. Like I mentioned, the Dugon tribe, who lines up with the planet Sirius, and their whole astrological system and timeline was based off of that.
Funny you say that, because in school they told you Galileo discovered the stars in the sky and all that stuff. I was like, bro, we come before that shit. Yeah, you only have a 6,000 years.
I tell you, what's that dude with the father of medicine? I forgot his name. We all know Imhotep came before him.
Right.
So that guy couldn't have been the father of medicine. I forgot that white guy's name. They tried to say it was the father of medicine.
Einstein?
The father of medicine.
Oh.
No, Einstein was the guy who did
science.
Yeah, he wasn't even a real genius either. I could find people smarter than him. But we ain't gonna get off to that. But like I said, man, y'all got to see this movie Glass, especially all my woke people who know how to watch a movie with their third eye, man. Y'all got to see Glass. And before you go see Glass, if you haven't seen Unbreakable with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson that came out back in 2000, watch that first. Then watch Split. Then go watch Glass. If you got on demand, it's available on demand.
It should be streaming on Sci-Fi too, because last night when I was up because I couldn't sleep, they streamed Unbreakable on Sci-Fi, and then I think they were going to show Split after, and the whole cast of that was breaking down the first and the second movie.
Yeah. And it's definitely going to be a sequel, I believe.
Part 4.
But like the lady thought she was going to outsmart
a genius
like Mr. Glass. I don't want to tell the end. Like I said, we told too much by saying what she was there really for. So we kind of pulled the cover up over the doctor, the lady who discovered them and tried to convince them they wasn't really superheroes. They were just fucking nuts.
Dr. Ellie Staple, a fraud.
Staple was the character.
Fraud.
Yeah. Man, listen. Great movie, man. It's enjoyable. And I'm definitely a fan of this series of movies. I enjoy them all. I want to actually go back and watch it again and see the stuff I missed. I did go get it and go to the bathroom twice. But I want to go back and watch it over. I'm going to go back and watch this movie again, y'all. That's how much I enjoyed it and the stuff they put in it. And when Hollywood meets reality, which side of a reality, I think it's always kind of cool. This will always dig those movies when they think they putting shit out there in plain sight, but they think y'all ain't gonna catch it. That was my shits right there, because this is what I do. I
break things down
in my studies,
right?
And if I see something that's familiar to me, it hit me automatically. It don't go over my head. Don't shit go over my head with these movies.
Because you got to remember, X means 10, which 10 means unknown.
Yeah.
So, and I find in the pyramids of Egypt, when people try to go down there and find the secrets, I find it very well. Are people smart enough to put curses? Because imagine if people really knew that crap, our government could probably fuck us up worse. And it's not meant for everybody to know, because it has to be, when you come into spirituality, you have to have a good intention. Or when you're calling out for Papa Leg or a segment, if your intentions are good.
You also prove yourself worthy if you're ever going to be an initiate in any of these mystery schools or become a part of a tribe where you see fit that you can be the next initiate into any type of priesthood.
True heart.
Rituals like the Wakanda ritual and things of that nature, and how these original stories. Man, I encourage everybody to check out the original stories of, look up the real Superman.
What was that man's name?
John Henry.
John Henry.
Look up, just put in the original Superman. You'll find stories about that black man and where that story came from. Then you'll find out the original Superman didn't even fly, and then how they made him a little bit more bigger before they made him fly. They made him a white dude with a cape and a blue suit and all that.
And tights on, that's feminine.
Look up the origins of the Green Lantern. Man, all them superheroes, man, they all got a story, man. Most of them got a story that can connect with somebody in real time or in the past. You know what I'm saying? And I believe to this day, they still writing stories.
Because you never know what, what's his name? Stan Lee left behind to reveal to us. You never know.
Well, he left a whole shitload of work. See, a lot of people thinking that this shit is something new. Like all these Avenger, Infinity Wars and shit. I've been read about that.
I don't read, but that makes me want to.
The end game, I already know how the end game ends. I don't believe spoil it for nobody. I'm gonna still go see the movie just to see what's spinning on it.
Well, this is a problem I find with a lot of the comic books.
What happens with Black Panther? I know what still happens to Killmonger. How he rejuvenated it. I ain't gonna even keep talking. I know all the shits.
But I find it messed up that they don't keep sometimes the original origins of these comic books. They change the storyline, because I find
they'll change it slightly and then they'll change the character to it.
Or they keep the series going too long when it should have been like everybody died or whatever the case may be, you know?
Yeah. Well, they got to do what the people want to. Sometimes it's about money too. So it becomes a big business when it comes to money.
Man, it's like to tell a story. Like, say if somebody did a story about me, I would want you know me. Say if you wrote a story about me and it became a movie, I'd want it to be how my fucking life was, the good and the bad. I'm not going to pretend I am, like, just this perfect being. That's not fucking reality.
True.
All I gotta say is that ending left me sad, but the one thing I like that Mr. Glass said, or Elijah Prince said, it was like, you think these comic books are made up, I'm paraphrasing, but it's people who've seen this in real life and put it for us to see, and that stuck right here. I was like,
he said that in the very first one 19 years ago, Unbreakable, and he said it again in Glass. And he always was the architect about a lot of the story and how he wanted to get it exposed. He had a grand master plan. Let me stop talking. But y'all just go
expose that
movie,
bitch.
Man. Go see the movie, man. It was very enjoyable. Glass was the shit. And this was my post reaction to the movie Glass. My review. I said Earth Rama, her review. We give that a 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, all that stuff. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Peace and blessings.
Have a wonderful day.